All right, let's look at some items that we're going to need to consider to be able to do an actual bank reconciliation. And then we're going to do one. Now, there are three items on this page, and I'm not sure how long it's going to take to get through this page, so we might break this down into a couple of videos. This first question here, I anticipate some of you have trouble with. Okay, so you have to read this question very, very carefully. It says, James Company had checks outstanding totaling $32,400 on its June bank reconciliation. Okay, so this is for June. Then it says, in July, different month, James Company issued checks totaling $233,400. That's what they did in July. That's how many checks they wrote in dollars. The July bank statement shows that $157,800 in checks cleared the bank in July. Okay, that doesn't mean that all $157,800 is a part of this $233,400. This $233,400 is the amount of checks they wrote in July, and then in the month of July, $157,800 in checks cleared the bank. Okay. Further information, it says a check from one of James Company's customers in the amount of $800 was also returned non-sufficient funds. The amount of outstanding checks on James Company's July bank reconciliation should be, and then you have to figure out what the answer is. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to compare apples to apples. Or apples to kind of apples. We're going to look at the total amount of checks that were written. $233,400 were written in the month of July. And we're going to go ahead and subtract from that the $157,800 that cleared the bank. Okay? And that gives us $75,600. Okay? But if we think about it, we already had $32,400 that were outstanding. Okay? So we're only, the problem is just getting worse. So we're going to take this 32,400 and we're going to add it. Okay? And if we do that, we come up with $108,000. Okay? We take the spread for that month. Those are all outstanding, but we already had $32,400 that were outstanding at the beginning of the month. However, we also have a check for $1,800 that was returned non-sufficient funds. Okay, that's actually going to be a subtraction from this amount. So our grand total, because it's no longer outstanding, our grand total outstanding checks on the July bank reconciliation should be $106,200. Okay, and that is your correct answer. All right. Nielsen Company gathered the following reconciliation information in preparing its August bank rec. Okay, and this is not a bank rec, but this is we can figure this out, because all they want to know is, it says the adjusted cash balance per books on August 31, end of the month, is. So we're going to take our $28,000 balance per books, and that's going to be our starting point, and then we're going to make adjustments plus or minus depending on the information that we have. Okay. Deposits in transit, $1,200. We don't have to do anything with this information, because the business only being asked to figure out the adjusted cash balance per books, and this $1,200 has already been accounted for in this $28,000. Okay, now if we were doing something for the bank, we would have to account for that $1,200, but we don't have to. That's not what we're doing. Okay, notes receivable and interest collected by the bank, $6,800. Both of these are adjustments, and they are positive adjustments because we didn't know. We might have been expecting this note receivable to be collected, but until it actually is collected, the business, Nilsson Company, doesn't know for sure. And then interest, they're probably not going to know, regardless of how much that interest is. It might just be $50 of that total. It doesn't matter. Probably exactly how much interest they would get. So these would both be positive adjustments. Okay. All right. Bank charge for check printing. This was a positive adjustment. This is a negative. The business is not likely to know that this is $160 until they get their bank statement. Outstanding checks, $16,000. We don't have to do anything with this. Okay, nothing. And the reason is because Nilsson Company knows that they wrote those checks. They know that they wrote those checks. Non-sufficient funds check, $1,360. They find out about this worst case scenario through the bank statement. Usually you get something in the mail from the bank when this happens. So this is going to be a negative $1,360. And that is our last item. So I'm going to take these items. In fact, I'll try to just bring this calculator over here, one of my $1 calculators. And we're going to take 28,000 plus 6,800 minus 160 minus 1,360, and our correct balance at month end is $33,280. All right. Well, this video has gone on long enough. I think we're going to start a new video for the actual bank rec that we're going to do.